Folks, welcome back to another episode of Conversations. We are your host, Ben.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are back fresh off of Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, it was a good one.
How was your Thanksgiving, man? I think, is this like Thanksgiving tradition? You know, it's funny. This actually used to be Thanksgiving tradition for my family. So we had a kam tree. Kam is persimmons for those who are not Korean. We had a persimmon tree in my backyard growing up as a kid. And every Thanksgiving, my relatives would come over, like my cousins, my uncles, everybody would come over, and it'd be a tradition on Thanksgiving Day that we would go up the tree and just pick off all the kam and all the persimmons.
Korean.
It was super creepy. It was fun. Like we got to climb trees.
In your humbucks?
No humbucks. But yeah, we'd gather like literally buckets of persimmons, and then we would just cut them up and eat them. But it's funny. As a kid, I didn't like eating kam.
I didn't either. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if it was like obviously the pear, the Korean pear was like top,
Korean pear was always
top,
bomb.
right? Top, and then there's like grapes and stuff like that, Korean grapes or whatever, and then apple was kind of like a third like option. Like
yeah, apple's kind of the boring fruit.
Chame was good, right?
Chame
was a bomb one. That's a summer fruit though, I think.
Yeah.
And then kam, I didn't like it either. But as I got older, I appreciated like the texture of it. It's like it has like a crisp bite, like an apple.
The crunchy one, and you were mentioning earlier. There's like the
soft
softer,
ones.
That's like more like tomato.
I think they're called something else. I'm not too sure, but I think they're called something else. But similar, same family. But I personally like it. But I like grandma foods and old people foods because my grandma always like kept them.
Yeah, this is definitely like an old people fruit. I mean, for me, I think kam definitely is like it's like a fall season fruit.
Yeah, it is. It got the orange, got the fall, the colors, but I love it. Like, it's funny. My mom saw me eat it during the holidays or Thanksgiving, and she literally like killed them. And then she was like, the other day she came to my store and she brought me like 20 of them. She was like, here, I know you like them.
From a tree that they picked off of, or
they look like they're from a tree, but I mean, it could be. I don't think we have a kam tree, so
okay.
Yeah.
Well, how was your Thanksgiving, man? What'd you do?
We should start with you because I feel like yours is gonna be a little bit more wholesome and fun.
Wholesome? Why? Just a debaucherous Thanksgiving?
No, it's not that. It's just Thanksgiving is always really stressful for me because
the multiple family.
We have to. Vero's family is down to let us split or whatever.
Yeah.
But my family makes it difficult, or my mom, and a little bit of my pops too. They kind of give it Vero a hard time about it, and it's like,
what do you mean to like plan everything?
Yeah, it's like, so the last 2 years, and what's funny is I think my brother listens to the podcast now, so maybe this is a way I can talk to him about it. But the last couple of years, he hasn't been coming through. He's been like calling out like right before, like a day before. Oh, I can't make it. Kind of putting the pressure or like the bill on us, me and Vero, to take care of my family or to take care, because it sucks if my mom and dad are like we don't have anything planned, and my mom, as weird as it is, she really loves Thanksgiving. So Vero did amazing things last 2 years. Like basically we went early, picked up food from like Whole Foods. We went to spent time like six hours with them, and then we would drive. We did 1 year in the morning and 1 year at night. So it was like we switched off, but it was like we literally just leave them and then go to, drive all the way from, literally it's like an hour and a half, like from both ways. Like, so an hour and a half this way, hour and a half back.
Yeah.
And
meaning like to do one family.
Just
and
driving, just driving alone is an hour,
yeah.
about an hour. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's tiring because it's like there's some traffic. It's like right after you eat your first turkey meal, so you're like having a little bit of that, nod off. And then once we get there, we're going full into another Thanksgiving. So it's like by like 9, I'm like, hey, can we go? Either family. It doesn't matter if it's me or hers.
Right.
I'm like, can we go? Because this is too much for me.
So how did this year's Thanksgiving differ? Did you guys
we told my family, we told my mom that we were going to actually spend Thanksgiving dinner at her family and then do a lunch with them.
Yeah.
And my mom was like tripping out because she's like, well, the whole family's coming, and like, what? And this is what upset me, because she was like, well, we're gonna bring dinner, we'll bring lunch, and then you guys. Literally, my mom's response was like, well, what are we gonna eat for dinner? And I was like, it's not my response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm the youngest too.
Meaning, She expected you guys to provide the dinner, even if you guys weren't going to be at the dinner?
Yeah. Or no, not even that. She was just more like, that's why she was like, to me, it was more like, that's her first thought of like us not going is like, okay, what are we going to eat? Because she expects Vero to do everything, you know? And I think it sucks. I see the Korean culture in it or whatever.
But what about the lunch? She brought the lunch, right? You guys brought the lunch?
Yeah, we brought the lunch.
So that wasn't good enough?
No. So, okay, so this is early on, week before, we're like, going back and forth. And then the day of, it's like, we already did it. It's like, hey, and then my sister-in-law didn't even come because she had a herniated disc. So it's already kind of messed up or whatever. Not messed up, but or the whole family's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And I think my mom was just trying to control the situation. They're trying to be controlling, being like, this is what family should do. But it's like, dude, you can't do that if you choose to spend certain Thanksgivings, and, I commend them for this, but they're going to do what do you call it? Missionary stuff, going out and do service for God and stuff. And I get it. If you miss my birthday or whatever, it's not a big deal. I don't really care. But then don't turn around when you're here and get mad when we got things going on too. That's what my thing is. And my parents have to realize that we are split. I have to split my time. And everything my parents told me was she's going to come marry into your family and this and that and this and that. But it's her family's stronger in terms of bond and just culture and just how they stick together and how they not make each other do things, but it's they want to do these things for each other.
You guys don't do joint family holidays? Both families come together for a single event?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, long story short, it was fun. It was good. Vero is always a good sport. The night before I had Korean barbecue here with some friends and I got messed up. So I was hungover the whole day. And Vero,
that's gonna definitely add to your Grinchness.
Yeah. I had a little bit of Grinchness, but no, I wasn't Grinchness. I was just more I'm just more trying to protect Vero. Don't look at her as a slave or
for sure.
Yeah. And so for me, it was more my Grinchness, my being upset was all rooted from that. So it's but by the day of, we were great. Vero diffused situations. She didn't. It was actually funny because she was like, "Hey, babe." So on the way there, she was like, "Remember, if your dad says something, don't get set off. Don't just laugh it off and just kind of brush it off." And then she said the same thing about my brother. Don't say something if your brother annoys you or says something that's annoying. Don't just react. And I was like, "Sure." And then out of nowhere, she remembered that something I did the night before that offended her, and then she went off on me, and I was like, "What are you doing right now? I'm so confused. What's going on?" But we got through it, and that was good that we actually went through that because it got all my energy out of wanting to any anger or whatever got out before we even got there because Vero, I was defending myself what's going on, why are you doing this, and I got really angry and I raised my voice, and then after we got better, it was a real quick thing. It was 5 minutes, and then the whole rest of the day was chill. So I commend Vero. She's amazing. She let me crash for 2 hours on the couch and not complain about me not helping and stuff like that. So it was I appreciate it. So yeah. But yeah, nice. How was yours?
Hey man,
that's why you should have gone first.
Nah, dude, mine's boring compared to yours, bro. Yeah. You had the eventful one. I just had dinner with my family.
I know you guys are just chill. You love each other. you you enjoy each other's time. It's so weird.
You guys.
I love my family. I love my parents and my brother and everybody. I love them. And I commend my mom recently. She's been trying to make moves to make us do family events. She's trying to get us to go to Vegas for Christmas and this and that, which is weird. I don't know why we're going to Vegas because we can't do anything there.
You guys going to Vegas this Christmas?
She wants to go, but I don't know. She thinks people just go and just look at stuff and gugyung and shop. But I'm for me and Vera, I was dude, I don't want to go there. I straight up told Vera, I was I don't want to go to Vegas with my family. We can't do, it's such a tease. We're going to not be able to do anything. We're going to have to I'm going to the bathroom and then go off and do some slots real quick.
Wait, so your parents don't?
They're not down with that. Dude.
They don't drink, they don't gamble.
No, man of the cloth. I'm actually going to try to introduce some White Claws to them soon because my mom's a little bit down to drink wine and stuff like that. So.
My mom had a glass of wine at Thanksgiving. I was like, "What?
Well, your mom
Let's
is being
go."
more progressive these days, you know.
Yeah,
So
she is, bro. I was like, "What? All right." She had a glass of wine.
yeah.
But my mom, she like for her, she's like, "Oh, I drink one glass, I have to go to sleep."
Yeah.
She don't think it's like bad or whatever. She's just like, I have to go to sleep if I drink like even a glass of wine.
I think the only person that's down in my family, like other than my brother and stuff, is my grandma.
Yeah,
like
grandma.
anytime I'm drinking anything, she sits down next to me. Well, not anymore because she's a lot older.
Yeah.
Up until she was like 91, she was like anytime I'd be drinking something, she's like, let me get a sip of that, and I would give it, and she'd be like, oh my god, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's like if it was whiskey on the rocks or something, or like even a beer. She'd like not just. She would gulp it, like at least like I'm like, what are you doing?
Take it to the head.
Yeah, she'd take like one huge gulp. I'm like, Grandma, what are you doing? She's like, I know what she's doing. She wants to get a little bit buzzed.
Yeah.
But because she's Christian and she's like, oh, that's Korean, it's like wrong. Like she kind of, but she only does it with me. Like she did it with me.
Wrong to have a drink, bro.
No, nothing wrong with that. I told her. I thought, cheers, man. Good seeing you.
But you know what's funny? I feel like I mean, it's not funny. It's actually kind of sad. Holidays I don't even want to say for Koreans. It's just like not exclusive to Asians, but holidays are either a really good time or a really difficult time. It's either because family drama stuff comes up, right? And then it's like, oh man, I got to go to my in-laws, or I got to see my brother or whatever. We don't really get along. And you know what I mean? Like there's so many stories that I hear from my friends that either love the holidays or they hate them.
Yeah.
And also there's also pain that comes with them too, right? Like loss of family members, loss of friends, things like that. So I think the holidays is a very emotional time, good or bad, you know what I mean? And I feel like from you, like a lot of the stories that we've even shared on this podcast, I mean, you've talked a lot about your relationship with like your dad, your brother and things like that. But like,
my brother, we're good. We're better. We're good. Like we bond in the trauma that we've gone through.
Do you guys ever hang out?
Yeah, I mean, so that it's funny because when we go to Vero's family thing, we're like all hanging out. Everyone's talking. Some people are doing this. Some people are doing this, and it's funny because I'm the one like sometimes. Well, this year because I was hungover, but I was like looking on my phone, or I was just chilling with my dog or playing with the kids because I wasn't drinking that night too because I was driving back, and then so. We're just hanging out, and then I realized like when we're with my family, we eat. Everyone goes in their rooms. My mom's looking at her phone in the living room. My dad's in the back in the backyard doing something, raking some leaves. I'm watching football in the den. My brother's looking at his phone or working upstairs. All the kids are in their room. It's like that's what Vero brought that up. She's like, yeah, it's like sad because you guys don't hang out with each other. And I was like, yeah, it's because we're not. I feel like when you put us together, it's like. There's so much like alpha energy because everyone in my family is an alpha.
Yeah.
My brother, my dad, my mom, and so it's like you put us all together in that, and even my grandma too. My grandma has that too. So it's like she being in there, her being like kind of having a little dementia. Like she throws in like firecrackers in the mix. Like she'll just like randomly say something funny.
But being alpha doesn't necessarily mean like you don't care about anybody else. Like alpha just means like you kind of like lead the charge.
Sure,
right?
I think it's just a lot of alpha energy that it's kind of like bouncing off of each other.
Oh, meaning so it's a lot of conflicting alpha energy. Like I want to do this. Oh, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
Or when we start talking, it's like we like hear each other, but we're not like listening to what they were actually saying. It's kind of like we're listening to rebuttal.
Yeah,
like we have that kind of energy, and you know that like I used to have more of that energy. Being married has killed that a lot because it's hard to.
Probably a good thing.
You're never gonna win. You're never gonna win. That's all these young bucks I tell when they get in marriage. I'm like, don't bother fighting or wasting time fighting for the ones that you think you're gonna win because you might not. So it's like a better, easy,
What? So if you think that Vero's family has much more of a sort of like, for lack of a better term, like a friendly family dynamic.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they have that? And why do you think that you guys? Because when I look at Vero's family, I mean, I haven't met her parents and stuff, but like her sister, like she's a strong girl too. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of alpha energy there, I would imagine. Also,
I think what it is also is that like if the it's because the mom and dad don't rule the family anymore. They are just like, okay, if you're gonna act like that and be that way, don't come. That's what they tell them. And then like they're like, oh, okay, and then they start changing. Like they're good about it, but it's like it's hard I can't do that. You know what I mean? It's very hard because the status quo is different in my
Yeah,
situation, you know. So it's like, but with that said, I do not say that I love my family. It's just different. It's definitely different from Vero.
Do you
But
guys
Vero,
have like traditions that you guys always do though? Like let's say every Thanksgiving, is there something that's always happening? That's something like
see,
outside of the food, obviously.
no, that's the thing. Like maybe we used to like watch movies together at home, or like we used to go and like go to a movie together or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, and you don't do that. No
I
more.
feel like now being married, but it was different though. Like when I would go, I would stay over. When I was single, I would stay over Thursday night,
Yeah.
and then go home on Friday or something,
Yeah.
or stay over until like late on Thursday night, and then meet up with my friends somewhere late in K-Town or something.
Yeah.
Now it's like I have my wife. Like we've done other things. Like I legit want to go home and just you rest and then like get ready for. Sometimes I have to work, you know, on Black Friday. So
Got it.
yeah. But other than that, you know, like
Hey, you should try to like rally the family together and go back to watching movies, bro.
I'll try. I'm not against it. It's just, you know, it's hard when we're like already angry at each other for something
But why
else.
are you always like? But why are you going into it angry? It's
I
Thanksgiving.
mean, yeah, you're right. And this is why, like, sometimes my dad will be having a good time, and he'll be like, "Hey, by the way, the something sales." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to talk about it right now." And he's like, "You never want to talk about it." I'm like, "What do you mean? We always talk about it." Like, and then we start fighting about me never wanting to talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, I'm beginning to think like, just my parents, they like the smoke. My parents like.
Hey, I understand,
arguing.
dude. My parents love to smoke. My mom. See, here's the thing, though. Okay, my dad's not around anymore. So if my dad was here, I'm sure it'd be a different dynamic too.
Yeah.
But with my mom, like, okay, so for instance, with my mom, me and my sister and my brother, we're always just like, look, let's not bring up anything to argue about. And oftentimes, it's money that's always going to be the thing to argue about, right? And so my brother, sister, and I, we like preemptively, we get on our little side text, and we're like, we're not talking about this tonight. Nobody talk about this. So we're like, cool. Like, let's just have
off limits. Yeah.
Let's just have a good dinner. We'll hang out. You know, we have our traditions. We always watch Home Alones while we're watching. You know,
That's a great tradition. Yeah.
Eating dinner. We're like, we always toss. Like,
which is a funny thing because we used to love that movie, and we'd always. Maybe I should put it on.
Put Home Alone on. It might just draw your parents back. Even my mom loves Home Alone because she's the one who, like, my parents took us to watch Home Alone in the theater. Yeah. So ever since we were kids, like, Home Alone was always just like a holiday
should bring
tradition.
up 2 because I don't think they've seen 2. But yeah, you're right. That's a good. I'll try it. Christmas.
Put on and like once the movie's on, we're just eating dinner and then we like laugh and like we're quoting lines from the movie and stuff, and like it's always chill. And so I think it's good, especially if there are touchy subjects, to be like, all right, these are the off-limit subjects. We're not talking about that, but everyone needs to agree on that. And there was a moment though, even in our thing, like I guess because I went out to take the dog out for like literally like 10 minutes. And then I come inside, and I can see that my sister's like upset, and I'm like, "What the frig? What happened?" And then my sister comes up, she's like, as soon as you stepped out, Alma came up to me and like was talking about money, and I was like, "Just Patty, just relax. It's okay. Like we'll talk about it like another day. Let's not talk about it right now." And you know, and again, we're all adults.
But why do you think your mom waited to you leaving for you?
I don't know, because I think maybe because my sister is the one who's doing the best out of all of us, so she's like gonna go to her to talk about money. And I don't know what my mom's reasoning is. Like that's up to her to choose like who she wants to bring that topic up to. But I can see that like those things. Our parents just don't have that kind of tact.
Yeah.
They just like, oh, this is a good time. We're all here. Our whole family's here. This is a good time for us to address this important topic. It's like, how about not tonight? How about we set like another day aside where we could talk about that stuff? But like, you know, even with that, I can see that my sister, she was like trying to like keep it cool. I was like, Patty, it's all good. Like, let's not talk about it right now. And then, but like that also kind of prompted the like, all right, I think it's time to go, you know, kind of thing. So like, I mean, it sucks, but like at the end of the day, man, that's kind of just as we get older, man, like we deal with each other's baggage, and also just Our parents aren't gonna change, man. We just
You
gotta
know what?
accept
They
them
can
for what
change.
they are.
They can
They
change.
can. They can.
They've
You know what? I
showed
take that back.
capability to change.
Yes, they can.
But they just pick and choose when to do it or
Yeah.
when to do it, and or when not to do it or whatever. And it's like, it's the most frustrating thing. But you know what's funny is, and this is aside from the holidays, but me and my dad came in, and the holidays coming up for my store. He was like, "Oh, I don't like your internet box, like my internet box where I keep all the server stuff, my server box." And then he was like, "I'm gonna take and rewire it and make it look nice." And I was like, "Dad, just leave it. I don't need that. It's closed off. It's all the way in the back." And he's like, "What's the big deal? It's not I just got It's gonna take 2 seconds." He comes in, he does it, and then it's to the point where he had to okay, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? Normally he's really good with this stuff, but I think that the person who fixed it or put it together did some weird things to make it work, and then he messed it up. And I was like, and he was like, "Why are you upset?" And I legit was like, you cannot say that to me. You were the one that came in and you messed it. I told you not to do it. And he was like, "What do you want me to do? You want me to say I'm sorry?" "Okay, I'm sorry. I messed it up." And I was like, "Thank you." And I just walked away.
Yeah. Bro, that's big.
That's big.
Dude,
that is huge.
Literally, my mom
has
told the parents saying that they're sorry, bro.
You know, Vera was like, "Dude, you're so petty." I was like, "Why?" "No, I needed him to acknowledge that he messed up."
But okay, I get why she could say that's petty.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Yes, our parents are human,
yes.
and they have the ability to apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think why that is so huge to us when our parents apologize, especially when you grow up never hearing an "I'm sorry" from your parents. Bro, I thought my mom literally was incapable of saying those words. Literally throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
My mom has never admitted that she was wrong. And if she did, it was always and it's kind of all right, I guess that's as good as I'll get. But my mom gave me a legitimate, what I considered a legitimate apology. This was 2 years ago, bro. Mm-hmm. It was during the pandemic. And I think I might have talked about it on this podcast. Yeah. But it was I think it was during the BLM, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got heated because she was just like, "Don't go out into these protests. That's wrong." And I'm like, I don't even want to go there because if we do, I'm going to get upset. So I just "Oh, Ma, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's just not even talk about it." But she just kept on bringing it up. And then I was just like, "Look, you don't understand what it's like to be a black person. You don't.
Yeah.
You can think you do, but you don't. I don't even." Yeah. So I'm like, when they say certain things about their experience, we have to respect that. We have to understand we don't know what it's like to be a black person living in America. America, because this is where we live.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only context we have. And and I was saying it very passionately. I was just like, "Oh my,"
I know you're passionate.
You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh my," and then after all that, she's like, "Okay, 알았어, 잘못했어." In a very
non-condescending,
non in a all right, whatever, I'm sorry kind of way. And I was just like, what the? And I my passion and my anger immediately calmed down.
Yeah.
Because I was like, whoa. My mom just legitimately said she was sorry without a rebuttal or without
nothing.
And that made, going back to what you said, our parents do have the capacity to change.
They do.
But you know what I also realize? They have the capacity to change because they observe us, their children.
Yeah.
Because they realize, I think the reason why our parents are or have been so quote unquote controlling or you need to do it like this is how family's supposed to be, because that's how things were done in Korea.
Maybe.
In traditional Korean families in Korea. And we are not Korean in that way. We are American. And it's when I talk to my mom, I'm like, "Look, you chose to move to America and you chose to have kids here. You can't be mad that we're American. You chose to do this."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that our parents are like, "Oh, but we're trying to preserve the beauty of our culture." And I'm like, look.
Beauty of culture.
Yeah, I think of Bruce Lee every time I say that. But even with that, it's okay, cool. You're trying to preserve culture, but you also have to understand there is a culture that you have no control over, which is the American culture, which is what we experience by living here. And we are not traditionally Korean. And, as Korean Americans, as like, Vero, like I see a lot of the, all of us trying to still preserve the essence of tradition and culture of Korea. But also we're like, but we're also just not that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? And so I think when our parents learn that, like, okay, my kids aren't Korea, they are American. Like that, even to the point where my mom like loosened up about me not having to marry a Korean girl.
Say something.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah.
My mom was just like, there's no other option. What are you talking about? Then I'm just like, then I might not get married.
No, yeah. I mean, like with the tradition, I get that. And I'm just like, with my family, I'm like, we have no traditions. Our traditions are to do things last minute and then like whatever. Like, so my thing is like, Vero's family has traditions. So I told my mom, you cannot get mad that we put priority to these things that they've been doing for decades. When you're just trying to, like, what are we doing? Why are we here? Like, when I come over, like, yeah, I love to spend time, but why aren't we spending time? Like, so my mom is trying to make a change because I think she sees that we're getting older. So she's trying to make this effort to, like, and this is the last thing I want to say this, because we don't want to talk about trauma this whole episode. We should talk about, like,
this is all this podcast is for, bro.
But
it's trauma bonding right now.
But like, I do see her trying, so I will give her props, and Vero, I give her flowers because she really is trying to be the glue that between me and my family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
man.
That's what I love about her. But anyways, going on Thanksgiving. I want to know, because you guys always have some amazing spread, So it's
okay. So this
year, what is your top 3 favorite?
Oh, bro, candied yams. That's at the top. But
candied
I will
yam,
say,
is that sweet potato?
It's the sweet potatoes with the caramelized mushrooms and pecan topping.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallows, not mushrooms. Oh, that would be
style.
weird. Marshmallows, caramelized marshmallows with pecan topping.
Okay.
And I will say, dude, my sister puts it down. She kills it. So, but this year was the first year that my sister was like, look, I don't really have the energy to cook. So she's like, I'm going to order out and we'll just like, pitch in or whatever. And so I was like, sure, whatever. I don't care. As long as we're having dinner and we have it together, I don't care who cooks. And, but my sister, like, so I will say, shout out Patty, put it down in the kitchen.
Patty, no.
Especially on Thanksgiving, she just goes all out, like, and she puts out like the whole bomb dinner, from the turkey to the stuffing.
You do the full turkey or like a turkey breast?
Full turkey. So this time we're like, it was just our immediate family, so we're like, we don't need a full turkey. So she basically was asking her friend at work. So my sister works at Disney. And she was talking to like the head of like the catering or whatever of Disney, like the animation department. I don't understand animation. Anyway, but so she's talking to like the head of the catering. It was like, hey, like, do you have any recommendations for a good like catering for Thanksgiving dinner? And then she's like, oh, well, what are you looking for? She's like, the basic turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes or whatever. And then she's like, oh, I could do that for you. And then so my sister's like, oh, okay. So she just like
whipped it up.
Yeah, well, so she let her friend just kind of make the stuff. Bro, it was amazing. So it was like a giant, like just the breast of the turkey, but it was not dry.
Yeah, because it's like the way they.
It was so juicy and like flavorful. And then so this time, first time my sister didn't do the whole spread. She made her cream corn. Again, the best cream corn, super dope.
TFTI. No, I'm just kidding.
TFTI, you, bro. I will go over to the Kim family Thanksgiving.
Hey, man, you got the invite for the Christmas holiday trip, bro. And you didn't take the thing, dude. And now you got.
What are you talking about?
I told you that we're going for the Christmas holiday trip, and I was like, hey, we need to know
this year.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we need to know like things, and you're like, hey, I don't know if I probably won't be able to make it. That's what I have it in the text, man. Bro. This was early on because we planned this like in July, bro.
How about I can do right now? Can I go? Can I do last minute?
I mean, we're gonna have to see because.
Hey, Vero, can I go? Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah.
But I'm talking about your Kim Thanksgiving. I would love to have dinner with your family, bro. I mean, invite me to your Thanksgiving lunch.
Yeah, no,
we'll hold hands.
You know what's funny? We should, because my mom and dad need to know that you're Korean.
What are you talking about?
I'm just kidding.
They don't know that.
I don't know. I think they know.
Of course they know.
They know,
bro.
right?
I
They
eat inside
know.
to
They
them
know.
and all
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we had friends that were 20 plus years that didn't know.
Bro,
So.
I'm gonna make your family freaking kumbaya around the fireplace, man.
All right. So candy yams.
Candied yams is my favorite. That's my go-to. Dude, my sister's cream corn, man. The cream corn is out the park, man. She knocks it out the park every time. Man, number 3, that one's tough because that could be anything because there's so many Thanksgiving dishes. I'm gonna say a good stuffing, dude. A good stuffing. And this past one, so that my sister did with the catering, she made like what was it, like an Italian sausage stuffing? There was like sausage in there. I was like, man, this is just different flavors, and I just appreciated it. So a good candied yams, cream corn, and a good stuffing. Yeah. But I'm also a mac and cheese guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what I like. Because we used to have extravagant like Thanksgiving dinners when I was younger, because my parents would invite all their friends and stuff. But in the later years, like, we stopped. So like my mom stopped. Definitely in the last 10 years, we've been ordering. Yeah, about 10 years that we've been ordering for the most part. But yeah, it's always been like, Thanksgiving has always been like okay for me. Like, unless I go to someone else's.
What's your favorite holiday of the year?
Christmas time.
Why?
Just because the lights and like the music and the giving spirit, and everyone's just kind of like.
Do you have Christmas tradition with your family?
It's the same thing that we do for Thanksgiving.
So you just like the season of Christmas.
Yeah.
Not like the time that you spend with your family on Christmas.
So what's funny is that, no, I love the time, but it's like if my brother can't make it, he doesn't show up. And then like I see my parents all the time, so it's like I'm not going to sleep over. I'm not going to stay there. I stay there for 5-6 hours, hang out, have dinner, whatever, and then go home. So it's like what's funny is that Christmas has become more and more exciting, and I'm like looking forward to it after I got with Vero, because they do a Christmas tradition that I've been wanting to do something like that my whole life, and like it's fun, you know what I mean? Like we plan it like 6 months in advance or so, and then even a couple of months, like I'm like thinking about the white elephant gift, because like the whole family does it, and it's like 12, 13 people, the parents too, they all get in on it, and everyone really tries for like bring good fun gifts, so it's like it's fun, and everyone drinks, everyone enjoys each other's company, so it's like.
Is it because their family drinks?
That's what it is, man.
Also, her parents drink too.
Her parents drink. It's funny because last Christmas I was drinking a lot, and Vero's mom was like, "Oh, Ryan, some money, much that on her."
I was like, "Oh."
And I was like, "No," and I told her,
regular.
I said, "Well, I'm not driving, and we're here for family." And it's like, yeah, but I was drinking a lot, and I'm like, like.
You felt a little judged.
No, not at all. She was more saying like, "I'm surprised you can."
I've never seen you drink this.
Like
much.
literally, I'm surprised you can handle your liquor this much, because they think that I can't drink. I think. Because I'm like very big on like not trying not to drink and drive.
Yeah.
So like even just like they try to give me one shot, I'm like nah. Because I'm like, what's the point? It's just gonna make me fiend for more alcohol. Wow, like want to drink more. So it's like
you got some good self-control.
I got great self. What do you mean, dude? Of course. As I drink this shot.
Yeah, I'm giving you your flowers for your self-control. All right, so maybe it's the fact that so in your childhood, you guys never did fun holiday family traditions, playing games, going on a trip.
Everything was rooted in church.
That's
so
right.
Like, so like Thanksgiving, we'd like do a Thanksgiving thing, and then like sometimes I want to say there was church, or no, Wednesday night there was like a church event before Thanksgiving, and it was like that, church events and stuff like that. That was kind of more of a tradition because we just did it every year. But like we don't, we didn't do it. And that's why I said my mom's trying to. She's trying. So even when she was like, you want to go to Vegas? This is Sin
that's
City.
Your mom. That's your mom
Sin City,
trying
Mom.
to do something fun.
Like, look over there. There's titties right there. It's like that's
you don't
the kind of
frame it like that, bro.
But that's the kind. It's just funny that she's trying that hard, and she's like, she's thinking about the kids. She's like, oh, we went to David Copperfield, and we want to take the kids there, and like this is how like my parents, my son, my brother's kids, they're exactly like them. They're just kind of like too cool for school and like too smart to like enjoy the little things like magic. They're like, yeah, I already know how they do that, or like they have that kind of attitude, and I'm just like, ugh.
Dude,
Just
what,
blows
what's
my
the
mind.
childlike wonderment, man?
I,
Just be like, I don't know, that junk's real.
that's what I said. I was like, well, I didn't say that. I was like, dang, who hurt you? To my like nephew and niece, but no, they're good kids. They're just too realistic and too
But
smart.
see, I think I feel like you have the ability to
The wonderment.
lead momentum.
Yeah.
You have the power of momentum, and I think you can bring that fun energy.
But I'm
into
also
your
the
family.
grumpiest one out of all of them.
You have become the grumpiest
Well,
one.
you know what
you
it
didn't
is?
used to be like
I'm the
this,
youngest, right? I was the youngest, and like being so the youngest, I was okay with not being heard for the longest time. But now it's to the point where I'm like, look, I'm an adult now. Like, hey, and that's why I'm grumpy, is with them at least. You know what I mean? And it's like
You're kind of grumpy in general.
I'm kind of grumpy right now. I'm being grumpy right
Kind of
now.
grumpy right now. You're bringing my energy down.
Okay,
right
my
now.
bad.
Eat
All
some
right,
calm. Eat some
top
calm.
three
Eat some
foods
sweet
for me.
calm to sweeten
I'll
up
tell you
your
my
energy.
top three foods to bring it
Yes,
up.
give me your top three favorite things that make you happy.
No, not happy, but Thanksgiving stuff. Thanksgiving
Sure,
foods.
foods that make you happy at Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, okay. I definitely like. This is weird. I like cranberry sauce because it
Okay,
adds
yeah.
to every single element on the plate.
That's a good one.
It makes the
It's a great compliment.
It's
to
a nice
each
compliment to the everything, and that's why when it's kind of like I
thing.
love
What kind
that.
of cranberry? You mean talking about the gelatinous one or the one with the actual berries? That
My
are...
mom makes the one that is actually like broken up and like kind of like it's not the canned. She used to bring the canned one and it was like cut it.
Yeah.
But and now I don't think maybe she just blends it or like mixes it up, but it's there, you know. And we're a very here's it. It's not that I like one individual or three individual things about because I like them all equally. Because sometimes you know the stuffing is dry, but then the turkey is amazing. But then sometimes the turkey is dry, but the stuffing is amazing. So there's always like factors. So I really like it when it's all on one plate.
Have you ever had a deep fried turkey?
Yes, of course. We used to make them with Han, my old roommate, and we did it once
deep fried is the way to go.
Yeah, it is juicier.
Yeah.
But I like it when it fuses together. Like you have your pop. I don't know if you get pop. We have pop, and then there's like, and then like the juices of everything kind of fuse together, and there's a little bit of cranberry and.
Oh, you like the PBL everything together?
Not PBL like that, but when I'm eating, it kind of mixes where it's like, oh, my rice has a little bit of mashed potato on it, or like
I get
my
that.
my cranberry has like my salad has a little kimchi juice on it or something. It's like I like that element of everything together because that kind of reminds me of like, oh, this church event that we went to for Thanksgiving, or this kuyokgebe like we went to. It's like this like potluck style of that's what I enjoy about Thanksgiving. It's that stuff. Because when we go to Vero's place, we eat amazing food. Like there's like,
what do they eat?
dude, it's crazy. It's like this year was supposed to be only Korean, but somebody brother bought mac and cheese, and then one of the cousins brought pizza and like wings, and then like so they were all sitting around drinking soju.
Like buffet of
food, yeah. And then there was like super spicy kimchi from Korea, and then like there was like mushrooms from this, and then like kalbi tang, or like a roast, like a kalbi roast, like a I guess kalbi tang, but you take it out and you just cut it, like it's kind of like that. Kalbi jim or whatever. So yeah, they do a smorgasbord of food.
I want to be invited to that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the holiday Thanksgiving one is you definitely can probably come to that one more so than the Christmas one.
Need to marry into the family somehow.
I mean, there's the cousins.
Anybody single over there?
Yeah, there's the cousins.
The cousins. Hey, what's up, cousins? Just kidding.
Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, their mom is single too.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That just got really weird.
Yeah, sorry, I will bring that up.
Well, okay, man. Now that we're like, okay, Thanksgiving, we're rolling. Dude, Christmas is right around the corner. What are you looking forward to, man? How do you want to end this year off, bro? What we have, by the time this episode comes out, we got like a little bit, like
weeks, yeah.
about less than a month before this year ends, man. Like, how do you want to end this year off?
Damn, that's a good question, man. Because this year has definitely been up and down, good and bad.
Same.
Mainly good.
Same for me.
Mostly good, but good and bad.
Same for me.
Learning, right? Learning experience,
totally.
And it's like, I think the reset, maybe, even though that's so stupid, like New Year reset, like having, because I'm not a resolutions guy.
What do you mean reset? What do you want to reset?
I'm just saying like, oh, it's gonna be the new year.
Oh, so you're trying to like dispel the like, oh yeah, new year, new me energy.
Not new me energy, just it's a new year. Like this year's over, and it's almost like you're just turning the page for this year, and it's a new thing, and you don't know what you're gonna read.
But you know what? Here's what I think the common misconception of New Year is: if you don't have an intention, your New Year is just gonna be the same as the last.
For
year.
sure.
It's gonna be the same as the last year.
And
like just the turn of the year doesn't mean that new things are bound to happen.
Well,
you gotta create.
But so that's what I'm saying is that it's like it's not just I'm waiting for something to happen. It's like it's a new year, new page, new blank slate to like a new canvas to like paint on.
What do you want to accomplish next year? I'm not asking you to set a resolution, but like what do you want to see different next year that you haven't been doing or you haven't seen this year?
Do you know? You can go. I can come back to me.
I think I know.
Let's go
for
with
me.
you.
Dude, I'm gonna write a book, bro.
Ooh, that's good.
That's my 2024 project is to write my book. I'm putting it out there on social media.
I guess my thing is we'll get back to that. My thing is the stand up thing and the writing for the stand up thing. So
I will hold you accountable to that.
Yeah.
Meaning,
likewise.
So wait, what does that mean? You're going to do your first public stand up comedy in 2024?
In 24, yeah. I'm not gonna give myself any unrealistic like deadline. I'm just because I know myself. When I say I'm gonna do something, I'll do it. When I'm comfortable with it, I'll do it. Like you see me. Over the last like 5-6 years, I've probably showed you a little bit more of that. When it's like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get it done. In terms of like this kind of stuff, like podcasts, we talked about it. You know what I mean? Like Dojo, we said that we got it started and we set it up and we.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have the ability? Okay, let me rephrase this. Are you better at doing things when other people are involved with the thing that you want to do, or can you still do the thing that you said you were going to do if it's a solo project, meaning you're responsible for it getting done? Because the reason I asked that, Dojo involved other people, the podcast involved other people, stand-up comedy thing only involves you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't look at it like that. The involvement is, yeah, they're there, but I had my own thing, and I was able to do stuff with Dojo despite all the challenges that came without. Like originally, we started that with all four, and then it just ended up becoming one, and then 3 in 1. You know what I mean? And like, so yes, like that's. I'm actually more of a loner and a solo guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I think it's really just me getting past my insecurities.
Bro, that's everybody.
Yeah. So that's
everybody's is like, I got to get past my insecurities.
But that's
even for me to write a book. I'm
yeah.
like, my insecurities, who would want to read my book? You know what I mean? Like, why is my story?
What are you going to write it about? What's it going to be about?
I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a memoir, but I think it's also going to be more kind of channeling a certain part of my memoir, or my story that I feel like has led to the successes in my life, is just starting, the power of starting. And I gave a couple of talks on that this past year, and it's not like I was just like trying to figure out a topic, like, oh, what could I talk about that's gonna like inspire people? But that's literally the story of my life. Like, I just started stuff, you know, from dancing to pursuing that as my career, and then that led me to things like Jabberwockies and Kinjas, and like, no one told me that was promised. No one told me that was the way to get to success in dance. Yeah. I just started. And then even finding things like podcasting. Like, I didn't know the first thing about doing a podcast, but I was just like, well, let me figure it out by starting. And then we had successful podcasts. So even me in this process of writing a book, again, I don't know the first thing about writing a book. But
just write.
Just start writing.
Just write, and then you'll edit it and do all that. But
and there's all kinds of tools. There's AI tools. There's all kinds of things to kind of help you.
I've been Chung, write my story.
But I'm not going the AI route. I actually have been vetting out some people to some ghostwriters, as well as writers and publishers that have been kind of giving me here are the options. Here's a route you could take that can go this way. Here's a route you can take that can go that way. So I'm kind of just doing my research. But I think I've kind of narrowed it down to one person that I think is going to help be my co-writer. And Yeah, so you heard it here, folks. I'm holding myself accountable. This is 2023, and by the end of by this time next year, I hope to have my book written, or at least a draft of it written. And I from what I'm learning, it's a process to even like, getting revisions and edits and blah blah blah.
You got to get
blah.
a typewriter, baby.
No, bro. This is like, what is this, Murder, She Wrote?
Well, all the great writers have an old typewriter just sitting on the table,
I got my...
the and then the...
That's like this is how we know we're old, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually, probably our audience... Yeah. It's like the sheet of paper stops. It's the guy with the beard.
Yes. He's like... And then like circles him and goes...
I don't know what the song was, but yeah, I always loved that.
Oh, dude, I support you, and I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I wouldn't know how to write a book. I don't
know how to write a book either, bro.
If I
don't even like reading books, so I'm like, what business do I have writing one? But I've met a lot of people in just this year, and I've done a couple of talks, and so many people, like 7 people in this past year, have asked me, like, have you ever thought of writing a book? Mm-hmm. And the first like 3 or 4 times, my answer was like, no, why would I want to write a book? But by like the 7th person, I'm just like, you're the 7th person that's asked me. So yes, now I am thinking about writing a book. And the reason why is because I know I really want to get into more like public speaking, and I want to do more podcasts and things like that. So I feel like me having something that kind of has my story and my message kind of packaged into a single book will feed into all those other things. So yeah, it's along with that, it's like, man, building my personal brand, bro.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about building a personal brand before, because I was always down with being a crew member. Like, I'm a part of this crew, I'm a part of that crew. But this is the first time I'm like really faced with like, what would it look like if you, like, as Ben,
your solo movie.
Yeah, you're your own brand, your own business, your own vehicle. Like, what would that look like? And I'm learning how to embrace that. And what I'm learning also, and this is something that, like, I've heard through just podcasters and people that I follow, is like, no one's coming to save you. Like, you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? So if you're thinking that someone's gonna come alongside you and be like, hey, I got you, bro, let's go, let me help you build your dreams. Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Because everyone's trying to build their own dreams too.
No one's coming to save you. If you want something, you got to do it yourself, and you got to put in the work. So with that, I am in a place where I am saying, okay, let's go. It's time to build your own dream, and you gotta put the work in, you gotta put the hours in. And then that's where the payout comes in too, right? Like, when it actually works, you're gonna be like, look, I did it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so,
dope, dude. Cheers to that, man.
I'm looking forward to.
Cheers to that. Next year is gonna be fun for us because we're both gonna be writing.
Well, I hope to be in the front row of whatever venue that you're playing.
Oh, you will be, because you're gonna be the only one to give me the real reaction. I'm actually gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come with. Might have to come with me, just you, and be like, "Nah, that was whack, dog. You gotta work on it." And you know what I mean? Or like, or you come to, like, after everybody booed me, you're like, "Hey, it's okay."
I'll be the one. I'll be the shoulder to cry on, or your biggest critic in the audience. Yeah. Hey, man, honestly, Ryan, if you do this, and I'm saying if, because I want to challenge you. I want to put some fire. I want to put some fire underneath the booty. If you do this, I will be so proud of you. And not that matters to you. I know it doesn't really matter.
It keeps me up at night.
But I'm saying, because I've never seen you, through all of our years of friendship, I've never seen you put yourself out on a limb like that.
Yeah.
I've seen you been a part of crews and, kind of do the thing with, like, yo, I'm a part of this team, I'm part of that team, which is great. And same with me. I found a lot of comfort in that. But going out on a solo venture like this, I've never seen you do. So
it's the hardest thing is just me being like, and then, like, there's all these new Asian comics that are coming, because I don't want to compare myself to that, but that's how you're gonna be compared to in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's all these guys that are coming out that are dope, like, they're so funny, and then I'm like, man, like, who am I to be like, like, I haven't put the work in. So I'm going to have to, and that's the hardest thing, is coming to terms with, or like balancing out my oldness, my old age of like grumpiness, and being like, I shouldn't have, when I was doing club stuff, I should have been doing this. I should have been trying to be because that's something that I feel like it's fun for me, and like I don't have a problem with it as much anymore. Like I think there was a period where I was getting a little nervous about being on camera and like talking about stuff. Like I would kind of freeze up, but doing this podcast has helped me, and like streaming and stuff has helped me just be comfortable in front of.
You gotta keep doing the intros, bro.
Yeah, no, I told you, like, when we do, because I'm the one bringing the guests too, especially when I do like invite them, like I'll prepare it more.
There we go.
Because Anthony was the first one to call me out on it, and it was very like, pride was like, I should have done better. Yeah. And I love you.
You gotta prepare. Speaking of which, man, you take us home, dude.
Take us home?
Take us home, man.
Are we already done?
Yeah.
I feel like, dang.
We've hit our time.
I love it.
We've hit our time.
It's just, it didn't even seem like it was anything.
It was a good catch up, man. We're over here talking about Thanksgiving trauma. And, And, what we're looking forward to in the next year. This is kind of like the holiday wrap up episode.
Holiday wrap up. And we'll bring it back. I think we're going to, because Christmas time, or the month of December is a busy time for everybody. It's going to be a lot of Ryan and Ben. A lot of Ben and Ryan.
Yeah. So if you guys don't like us, we're sorry. This is all we got.
Yeah. Just making sure everything is good. Also, because things were done a little differently today because Mark is sick. So shout out to Mark. Hope you feel better. Love you, buddy. And so is this it? I've never done it. How do you do it? All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping.
Camera.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by. If you catch us on any on YouTube or Spotify or what's the other one, or Apple, please go ahead and comment and like and share if you have anything to say. I hate when you look at me like that.
You want me to go in?
Yeah. You come in.
Dude.
All right, and then you know what?
You got it, dog.
Please follow us on our social media. It's
there it is.
Conversations _ pod on all boards on all the boards except
on all
X.
platforms.
On all platforms, sorry. Except X. It's _ conversations pod or conversations. We don't use X. It's a failing platform, I think.
I don't think we posted a single post on X.
We did one.
AKA Twitter, RIP.
But yeah. Anyways.
Guys, we really appreciate y'all. We love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Spend some good time with your family. Like, follow, subscribe, leave us a review.
Yes.
5 stars only. Only 5 stars. That's the only acceptable rating.
5 stars.
And write us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Guests that you want us to bring on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Foods that you want us to eat. You know what I mean? Like, just leave us something. That helps us. That helps us.
It'll help us.
We love you guys.
Love
Conversations, we out of here.
Peace.